Hello, my friends. Good morning. Happy Monday. It's Jill Ortiz here in my Empowered Fitness community for women over 40, looking to get energized, confident, and strong. And every Monday, I come in here and I do a motivation pep talk. And that's because you tell me that that's what you need the most, is help with motivation. That motivation is holding you back from achieving your health and fitness goals. And so every Monday I come in and I spin it differently. So if this is your first time being here for Motivation Monday, welcome. Let me know that you're a first timer. Let me know that you're here, that you've watched, whether you're live or on the replay. And maybe you're watching on YouTube. If you caught this on my email, I send out an email every Monday after we finish so that everybody's getting wind of this motivation pep talk. So like I said, every Monday, I think of a new way to spin motivation. And so today, what I was thinking about I've already trained a client this morning. My client Lucas came over and, this was the start of his second week of working with me. And the first thing I do too, when I have a new client, is I kind of ask them questions like, well, so what is your goal? Why are you here? What do you want to achieve? So that's one thing you might want to ask yourself, and you can drop yours in the comments below if you like, right? What do you want to achieve? What are your big goals, right? And so Lucas said to me, he's 12, and he said, I want to get bigger, right? I want to get bigger, muscular, stronger. I know he also plays tennis. He's looking to play soccer. And so he wants to be big and strong and athletic, right? He wants to have confidence in himself. And so I can't just bring him into my gym and promise him that I'm going to make him big and explain to him how that's going to happen. We have to make smaller goals and then see from one week to the next how this little progression is all we can really focus on. And then in 4 weeks or 8 weeks or 3 months or in a year, he's going to look back and be like, wow, I went from that to that. And it wasn't this massive thing. It was the little goals that I set each week or in each set. So today we looked at one of his, actually we did this for almost every exercise we did, but we started with chest flies. And last week, Lucas did 3 sets with 8 pounds, right? He's young and he's new to strength training. And so I was using 25 pounds on my chest flies today, but with Lucas, we started with 8 pounds. And last week he got his 3 sets in, and then we increased what I call the time under tension today. So instead of doing little 30-second bouts of the exercise, we did 40 seconds, and we had less rest in between our 3 sets. I also started Lucas with the same 8 pounds that he did last week, and then I challenged him to go up to 10 pounds in his second set, knowing that if he needed to go back down to 8 pounds in his third set, then we could do that. But we actually kept the 10 pounds for the second and third sets. And so when Lucas left today, after we did this for every exercise that we were working on, I said to him, do you understand now how last week we kind of set this foundation, and now this week we're looking to push and we're looking to improve, and this is how we build strength, and this is how we get bigger, and it's not going to happen, and you're not going to see this massive change from day to day or even last week to this week. But when we stack this time that we're committed to these goals, we stack these weeks and the months together, you're going to see that change happen. And he was excited for that. And it made him excited to do the work, right? So we have 3 sessions a week. And so I said, I'll see you on Thursday. And he said, I said, we're working legs on Thursday. That was tough last week. And he was like, oh, yeah, it was. And so he's excited to just put in 1 week's worth of work and improve over last week. And so that's all we can do, is we can set these small goals. So similar to Lucas, today in my Empowered Fitness Mastery program, that's my program for my clients who are working with me a little bit one-on-one, a little bit as a group. Hi, Sal. Hi, Sharon. What I asked them on Mondays in July as part of our July challenge is to share on Mondays, what is your focus? What is one thing that you're going to focus on this week and set as an intention? And how is that going to motivate you and create momentum for your larger goals, right? And so that's all we can do. It's really hard to say, I want to lose 20 pounds. Let me just do all the things and hope that that's going to happen. We have to set smaller intentions. So even for me, somebody who I can show up every day, I can do walks, I can go on my bike, I can do my lifting. The hardest thing for me is to stick to my nutrition. And so this week I wrote out what I'm going to eat all day, every day for a week. And all I got to do is say, okay, my commitment, and this is what I tell my clients too, my commitment is to simply follow my meal plan that I made and to not go off track and eat chips and cake and ice cream and all the other yummy things that are around, because I have a goal for the next just 2 weeks, right? For the next couple of weeks, I have this goal and I really, really want to achieve it. And so what's going to keep me excited is if I see progress, and the way that I know I'll get progress is if I just stick to this meal plan stuff. It's the only thing standing between me and feeling my most confident when I go on my camping tubing trip where I just like walk around in a bikini all day with my friends who I grew up with, right? And so that's going to be my focus for this week, is simply to follow the meal plan that I made that I know works, right? So we look at these small things that will lead to the domino effect, that will increase motivation, increase momentum, increase the excitement. Part of that is having that plan, right? You can see, I fill this out every week and I ask all my clients to do the same. So here's for next week, right? I've mapped out my workouts. I've mapped out my nutrition. I know what's going on in life this week. This is my guide. This is my game plan, right? And so we need to have a game plan, right? We also, I had a really great conversation with my newest client, Carol. She had this thing that she said, that I really love too, is if we're so focused on the weight loss and we're only focused on the pounds and we're only giving ourselves credit for when we lose weight and we're kind of disappointed in ourselves or the system or the scale, we're like blaming those little pieces of machinery when the scale goes up, and we're only good when the scale goes down and then we're bad when the scale goes up. That's not actually very productive. And what Carol said that I loved was she said that weight loss is a byproduct of self-care, right? And that self-care is taking care of our body, is taking care of our mind, our body, our soul, of all the things that make up us, our connections, our mood, and taking care of all of these things is what will result in the amazing results. Now, whether that is weight loss for you or getting tighter, toned, more energized, healthier, stronger bones, stronger muscles, longevity, that's what we need to talk about. And we need to figure out what is our big goal, right? What do we really want to achieve? And when I think about that, and of course I was thinking about that earlier as I was thinking about what I was going to say today, is my goal is to not miss out on life. And my goal is to live the fullest life and to not have it go by and say, I wish, and live in regret, but to get everything that I can out of this life. And for me, that means aging well, right? And not having my life cut short by things that I can't do because of sickness or injury or weakening bones and, less muscle mass and all the things that, that tend to happen in aging if we don't take care of ourselves. And so I've made a commitment in my 40s to take care of myself as though it's life and death. And for many of us, it is. And we don't realize until we get to that point where we're suffering. But if we can kind of get in tune with that importance now, then you are going to be benefited so much. It's kind of like a 401k, right? When you're young, you maybe don't care as much about your retirement, right? Because you're just focused on what can I have and do right now. But for those of us who were taught the importance of saving now for the future and delaying our current gratification for our future, it's so much more beneficial, and you can have that enjoyment later. And so we want to find that balance of enjoying now and having that longevity. So that's what's important to me, is not missing out on anything later in life because I didn't take care of myself now and establish those healthy habits. And you might have different reasons and you have different things going on, but the one thing we all can do is evaluate what's important to us and what are small things that we can commit to that will help create that momentum to get the ball rolling, to get us going in the right direction. And what I'm offering you in order to help you with that is a private one-on-one session with me. We call it a game plan call, where you and I are going to go over, what are your goals? Why are we here? Why are you here? What do you want? What do you not want anymore? What do you want to leave behind? Whether it's feelings or just a way that you've been, a way of life. And what is it going to take for us to start making small changes that will lead you in the right direction? And how do we stay accountable to taking those actions and to take them consistently so that we really get and gain that momentum? And it's so motivating when you do, okay? So that's what I want you to do today. If you haven't had a call with me, go ahead. There's a link here. There's lots of information on who I am and what I do and who I've worked with and what their results have been. I want you to book a call with me for this week, and let's make that plan for you. If you have had a call with me in the past and it was a long time ago and you really need another one, go ahead and book it. I'm not going to say no if you want help and you want to start taking action or new action to get to a new result. Okay? I'm here for you. Got a busy day, but I'm excited to make more connections with you and help you achieve your goals. All right? Have a great day. Bye. See you back here Wednesday, noon Eastern, for our live Q&A session.